Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and today's Facebook Live is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you what Stamp Club looks like. So I'm going to put together my Stamp Club packet on today's video. So what Stamp Club is, it's a group of ladies. We get together, we commit to a $30 order, and then we take turns getting hostess benefits. So I send the packets out, and we meet the third Sunday on Zoom to put our packets together. And then for all those ladies that can't make it to the Zoom meeting, I do a video like this and show them how to put their packets together. So that's what we're going to do today. And for the July and August, we pick a bundle and use it for 2 months. And for July and August, we're going to use the Sweet Strawberry bundle. So I should warn you that the Sweet Strawberry bundle, here's my packet. They had designer series paper back with Celebration, and back in January and February, and I kind of hoarded some of that designer series paper because I knew we were going to use the strawberry bundle sometime at club. So like the extra card, because it's 3 cards, 1 I make for you and 2 you get the packets to make, and I did use that designer series paper that you can't get anymore. But like I said, I've been hanging on to it for so long, and finally Club is using the strawberry, so we're going to use a little bit of designer series paper that you can't get anymore. But anyway, so your packet, I put the card away, looks like this. You get 3 packets. 1 is just a card that I make for you. That's what this one was. And again, like I said, this is that designer series paper that's not available anymore. And then the other 2 packets look like this. Now we're going to start with the packet that has this basic white in the back here, and we're going to start with this card. So before I go anywhere, I just want to tell Laura Mackey thank you. I cased her card, and usually for club I do case other demonstrators' cards because I want to give them the best of the best that I can find, and sometimes my creations aren't quite as great as the other ones you find out there, and that's why I like to use or case other demonstrators' ideas. But we're going to start with stamping. So on these 2, this is just like a half sheet of basic white. I cut it in half so it'd be easier to mail out with my packets. But that's what we're going to use for all these strawberries here. And then we'll use a little bit for the flowers on this card as well. So like I said, we're going to start with this one. We're going to use those 2 pieces that are in the back of the packet that has the clear rhinestones, not the red rhinestones, just to make sure you have the right packet. But before we do that, we need to get ready, our stamps ready. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I got my stamps ready to punch. So this is just a template that I keep in my stamp box. You could also just take your paper here and punch one out and use that. I'm going to use the template that I've already got cut out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it looks like my punch. And trust me, I know that from experience. So I want to make sure that the strawberry's at the bottom, the leaf is at the top, this leaf is on this side, and the flowers on that side, so it matches my punch. Then I'm going to take my stamps here, and I'm going to just set them, try to center them in there. And these are the outline stamps of each of those little, this is the little flower, just in case, because there's the big flower too in the stamp set. And then this leaf here, and I'm trying to get them centered in those punch outs. I've got them all set up like that. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take a block here and just pick up all those stamps at the same time. Then I'm going to take my template and I'm going to put it back in my box here just so I don't lose it, and I'll keep it in with my stamp set. Okay, then on those piece of paper with some black ink, and I'm using Memento, I'm going to just ink those up like that. And then over here toward the corner, toward the bottom, I'm going to just stamp those. Let me throw my head in the camera here real quick. Stamp those down. Hold it down, let it get a good image there on my paper. And then I got something that looks like that. Then with a little bit of old olive, and I'm going to bring in some scratch paper here because I want to do some stamping off, and that solid image of the big leaf. So this is the solid image of the big leaf. I'm going to just take it, hover around until I get where I want it, and stamp it right in there. And then with that smaller leaf, this is the solid image of that one, I'm going to stamp him off. And this just kind of gives me, so I have two different shades of green with using one ink pad. At Stamp Club, I try not to do too many colors, that way you could do the stamping at home and not have to have a million ink pads. But anyway, and then I'm going to take some Poppy Parade and that solid strawberry. I'm going to stamp him off. Now I have just re-inked my ink pads, so they are very happy right now. Look how cute my strawberry is. Now really, I'm only doing it once because I've already pre-stamped and punched some things just so you don't have to watch me. But you would have to do this so more than just one time, so you'd have enough flowers and strawberries for the card here. And then here is Balmy Blue. I'm going to take that solid flower and ink that up in Balmy Blue and just stamp that down. And like I said, if you were doing this for your card or while you're making your card, you need to do it 2 more times so that you have 3 strawberries, 3 big leaves, and then we'll do some extra blue flowers because we'll need some more of those too. So now that we would have all of those stamped and inked. Oh, before I finish though, the inside of this, I'm going to take my blue or dark, I think this is Balmy Blue. Yep, dark Balmy Blue marker. Nope, it's not a marker, it's a Stampin' Blend, sorry. And color in the center of that flower. Okay, now I'm happy. Now I'm going to take my punch and I'm going to just punch out all 4 of those, line them up like this. And since I use my template, if I just take my time and get them all lined up, they all line up nicely. Almost there, and just punch all 4 images out at one time. So now, like I said, you would do that 2 more times, okay? And then that gives you, let's see, 3, 3, 3, and 3. But then you see that I'm going to put, this is the wrong one. I like this one better. I did this one at the Zoom meeting yesterday. I want another strawberry in there. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it up one more time. Oh, I guess I should have done that before. I wasn't even thinking. Because we need almost all these pieces again. Boy, I was not thinking on that one. I was thinking we just needed the extra flowers, but we need one more complete set. Okay, one more time here. I thought I had my act together. Guess not. Thank goodness you can fast forward, except on this live here. You have to put it with me for just a few more minutes. Okay, and then bring in that green again. We're going to stamp this full power, I guess you call it. We're going to stamp off with this one. Let me see if I can't get the tips of the, there we go. And then the strawberry. Ooh, I almost forgot to stamp him off. He's too dark. He needs some extra. There we go. Okay, now I should have enough. Line these up again. Okay, then I need a couple more of these little blue flowers. So I'm going to just cut along here a strip of paper just because I think it's easier to do the flowers this way. And then I'm going to take my little flower, put him on here, stamp him in black. And when I stamp him, I'm going to make sure that one petal is facing down, because that's what works best with our punch. And look, I didn't get that one very good either. I think I can line it up. Thank goodness for photopolymer stamps, right? And then bring in that blue. And I think probably now I have too many blue flowers, but better too many than not enough. And then one more time with the dark balmy blue in the center there. Okay. And then we can take that strip of cardstock and just put it in the side of our punch like this. And punch one. And two pretty quickly. Now hang on to that because we're going to need to punch some more little flowers for the next card. And now this piece of paper should be all set the right size to stamp those. So I'm going to hold on to that for later. Set all this aside. It's time to a little bit more stamping. This is going to be, nope, this is the wrong one. This is going to be the inside of our card. And that's not right either. Look, this is the front of our card. This is the inside of our card. Come on, Kathy. So on the inside and the front, I'm going to take this big bunch of leaf, I guess you'd call it, with a couple blooms on there. And I'm going to stamp it down once, right here in the corner of the inside, so the larger piece of basic white. Set that aside, let it dry. And then here, along the edge here, you can see that I've stamped all these along the edge here. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to just take my stamp here and I'm going to start this way and kind of stamp off the edge and just get the edge of the front of our card. Like that. And then one more time here at the bottom. Maybe like that. There we go. Now I think we're all done with that. So then I'm going to bring in that balmy blue marker again and quickly color all those flowers. And I'm using the light balmy blue first, and I like to use the bullet tip on my, this is Stampin' Right markers. I think it just gives me a little bit control. Plus I'm not a very patient color. I usually just scribble in those colors and this keeps it in within the lines as best I can. Couple more little flowers here. Let's do these while we have the blue out. Now you could take your time and you could make these flowers look really pretty with some blending between these two blues. But like I said, for the sake of the video, I'm going to just go really quick here. There we go. And then with the darker blue, I'm just going to come back and hit those centers just a little bit. And really some of the flowers might even be covered up, but better have them all colored than this some later. Okay, and then the same thing. Real quick with the leaf, I'm going to just put a little bit of dark on the veins here. And then I'm going to come in with a lighter, and this is Old Olive that I'm using here, the same color that I stamped earlier with the two-step stamping with the solid image. And I'm going to just color in all of those leaves real quick here. And here again, you could color it in and make it blend and look really pretty, but I'm going to just get some color on there just for the sake, so you don't have to sit and watch me take all the time. And I think it'll look just fine with me just hurrying. And I guess if you wanted to watch it on the replay, you could fast forward and you wouldn't have to watch me sit here and color. There we go, halfway done. We're almost there. Okay, now set those aside. I'm going to bring in some back of that black Memento ink again and stamp the sentiment. So on the front of it, I want to stamp that hello there, just right here. You know, and I have a smudge right here. I'm going to cover that smudge up with my hello there. And then on the inside, I'm going to stamp, and I want to make sure, because you can see that this part's going to show on when you close the card, and I don't want to see my stamping on the inside when the card is closed. So I'm going to have stamp the happy birthday, you sweet thing. Let me practice one time just to make sure. Yep. But I'm going to ink him up good here. There we go. And stamp him, hopefully get him straight. A little bit to the left is what I'm trying to say. On the inside. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I think we're all done stamping and punching for this card. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside. Grab some stamp and seal here. Just a quick that, and then go ahead and put this on the front. Again, I don't have the measurements fresh in my mind right here, but you can visit my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and if you search Stamp Club, you can find all the measurements of the cardstock there. Okay, now we need to put our little pieces on there. The first thing I'm going to do is put the stems onto my strawberry. So I should have 4 stems and 4 strawberries here, and I'm going to just use a glue dot. Set that stem right here on my glue dots. And here's the 4th one. Just attach it right here at the top. See how cute those strawberries are. Can't go wrong with the strawberry. There we go. And then 2 more. Whoop. There. And last one. Just like that. So now we have, let me get this out of the way so we can see. There. Now it's a little easier to see. So we have our 4 strawberries. I'm going to start at the top here with the largest leaf, and I'm going to just kind of lay stuff down and see where I like it, how it goes, and then we'll move stuff around before I adhere it to the card. So if we do our strawberry or our leaves like that, we'll maybe move him up a little bit. Add that one there. And then my 2 strawberries on dimensionals about like so. So the strawberries I'm going to pop up on dimensionals like I said, but the leaves, in fact, I want to grab my silicone mat here because I'm going to just put some tape runner here at the bottom of this one, because when I tape it onto here, let me get it the way I want it. When I tape it onto here, I don't want any glue to be on this side. I don't want it to stick to the card. So I'm going to make sure I just have the adhesive over here on this side. And then if I put this one here, let's do the same thing on this one. I think I want it to go this way, so I'm only going to put adhesive on this side of it. Maybe attach him that way. That way you can see a little bit Yep, and then let's put some dimensionals on the back of my strawberry. And I'm only going to put the dimensionals on that side of the strawberry because, like I said, I don't want the adhesive to hang off this other side, the side of the card. So if I put it like that, see, there's no adhesive here again. Okay, let's keep going. So this leaf, I'm going to put some adhesive just along the bottom. And put him kind of hanging down this way. And then some dimensionals on the back of my strawberries here. Let me see if I got them on the wrong, I did put them on the wrong side. Let me move it to this side. There we go. Of the strawberry. And I don't want it to look like a row hanging down, so I'm going to kind of turn this guy this way a little bit, and then this one, I think I'm going to turn him this way. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on this side. Now the cool thing about having these little flowers is that looks pretty good that way, but now we can just put some dimensionals, and I'm going to use the mini dimensionals on these guys, and I'm put one right there in the center, but then I can kind of see there's kind of like a bald spot right there, so I can put a little flower right there. I think we need some color up here, so I'm going to put a little flower up here. Let's see what two more looks like. Because I can even count these. Now we're, you know how they say you always need to have odd numbers, and I think I'm going to put the rest one here. And then I think I'm going to stop. I think that looks good right there. So I am going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this strawberry and set him right here on the inside. And then to finish off the card, and this is just more stuff in the kit that you get, I put five little blings from the basic rhinestones, and I'm going to just add those to those little blue flowers. So I'm going to pick 5 of them. There's one. So that's 3 of the flowers. See, and I probably didn't even need to cut more flowers here. I thought I needed more, and I guess it turned out with this card I didn't. There's that one. And then one more here at the bottom. And it looks like that. So really on this card, I don't think 2 of them ever look exactly the same depending on all your stamping and punching. Let me bring in those other 2 and we can compare, and then we'll get on to the next card. So these are the 2. And then the 3rd from my sample class. So look how cute. They're all really cute. They're all similar, but they're all different. Okay, let's go ahead to the next card and the next packet. The next packet, it looks like this. I'm going to put my bling aside so I don't lose it. And let me wash some stamp sets. We're going to wash some stamps real quick. Not the whole set, but we need to wash like the cluster of leaves, because on the next card it's green. We need to wash all of these, and we only need this one. Trying to find a block. Here we go. We need this one, and let me wash this one, because then we need this little leaf here. Okay, so now we should be good to go. Let me show you the card. It looks like this. It's a cool pop-up card. It sits like this. It can sit up, but yet it folds flat and still fits into an envelope. Okay, let's start with some stamping first. So in your kit here, you have a piece of designer series paper that looks like this. Now yours looks a little bit different than mine. I cut them all and then I had scraps left over, so in my kit I have scraps. In your kit it's a long slender piece that's going to work a little bit better. But we're going to stamp on that. We're going to stamp on these 4 pieces. So the piece of seafoam green, we're going to stamp on that one. We're going to stamp on the designer series paper that looks like strawberry seeds. we're going to stamp on this white piece, which is the front, and then we're going to stamp on this piece of basic white that really is the back of your card. Look how cute that is. Okay, so let's start with the strawberries. My suggestion when you have a piece of designer series paper like this, now you should be able to get 3 strawberries out of your piece, no problem. And like I told you, I stamped mine ahead of time. But let me give you a quick tip. So my suggestion is that every time you stamp the strawberry, I'm going to ink him up in just the basic black again. This is Memento black ink. Stamp him down like this. And then go ahead and punch him out before you stamp the next one. Because the punch has this leaf here that's going to waste some space. So really, if you want to save space, you might even take a pair of paper snips here and trim up like this. And then if you can't get them in your punch, you just take a post-it note here, and I'm going to just take like a piece of post-it note, and you're going to make it into like a little handle. So you put it on the back of your designer series paper, and then you can slip it into your punch exactly where you want it. And look at there, you haven't ruined your designer series paper because of these 2 side pieces, and you can get 3 out of a less piece of paper, I guess. That's just a quick punching tip right there. Okay, so you'll need 3 strawberries, not 4. And then for the leaf, now because we're going to put it into the punch, we want to make sure that we stamp it the right way. Let me cover this up so I don't put my hand in there. And we're going to use the Old Olive ink. And that outline stamp that looks like this, I'm going to wash him because I think he has Old Olive ink on him. We're good. No, he has black. Let me wash him real quick because I think the last time we used him was in the Memento. Okay, so when he goes into the punch, it's going to go like this. So you want the stem to be at the top of your paper like this, and we just need 3 of those. Just like that. And then, I'm not going to put that away, we're going to use that again. I'm going to just punch it out just like this. So then that way it's easy to get in the punch because you stamp the stem toward the top. 1. And then there's 2. And then 3. Okay, whoop. Okay, now we have our stems for our strawberries. Then we need those little flowers. Hopefully, there it is. Here's the little piece of cardstock for the flowers. Well, let's go ahead, since we have the green out, let's do that stamping first. So on this piece here, this is the front of our card. You can see on this card, I just stamped a couple at the top. And then I tried it, so I stamped them all over down here. So I'm going to do something that's kind of in between the 2 of them. So I'm going to get out my scrap paper here so I don't get any on my surface. And I'm going to ink that up in the Old Olive. This is that bunch of leaves again. And I'm going to just stamp it down like that. And then maybe, like that. And then I'll call it good. Oh, and then on the back, or on this other piece of white down here on the corner, I'm going to just ink that up and stamp him right down here, like we did on the last card. Like that. Okay, let's put some words or some greetings on our cards. So using that black Memento ink again, and that same hello there, I'm going to just center this down here. Try to get it straight. Pretty good. And then the happy birthday. And there's other sentiments you could use in the stamp set. I just use a lot of birthday cards. So I tend to do birthday most of the time. So I'm going to make some more birthday cards here. So it looks like that. Okay, we're done with that color. Now we just need some yellow flowers. Let's bring that scrap in there. So with the outline, let me wash him again real quick because he was in black, and now I'm going to stamp him in yellow. And this one, I want to wash this one a little bit. So if you notice what I'm doing, I keep my chamois in this little plastic baggie, so then I just take out a little corner right here and clean my stamps, and that's what I'm doing to clean my stamps. Okay, we're going to go with Daffodil Delight. Again, I'm going to stamp that outline. I'm going to make it so one little petal points toward the bottom, and we just need, I'm going to go ahead and do 4 little flowers. That way, if I want to put one on the inside, I have an extra one for the inside too. And looky there, I even fit all 4 of them on there. And then the same thing, I'm going to come back here and just stamp that solid one. Oop, we have to stamp off. Shoot, now I need to find another little scrap of white paper. And stamp that one. All right, do I see it? Here's a little scrap of paper. Looky here, I can just cut off. Here it is. Stamp that little flower there, and then stamp off my yellow this time. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and punch those little flowers out. One. There we go, find our little flowers here amongst our mess. Okay, now I think we're all done stamping. Let's go ahead and put our card together. So in our kit here, we have this larger piece of Poppy Parade, which is scored 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And we just need to score along all 4 of those score lines, and they can be folded inward. I hope that makes sense. Because when we have our card, we're going to take it like this and fold it like this. So you see how that flap is on the inside here, and we're going to make it into kind of like a little rectangle here. Okay, before we do that though, we're going to take this designer series paper and look at fits. Now here's my score lines are down here and my folds are down here, and I'm going to put it up here, so then when I fold it, it's going to look like this. Okay, so let me put that in there. This, like I said before, is part of that designer series paper that was part of Celebration. I'm sorry, but you can't get it anymore. Very Delightful, I think, was the name of it. It's just beautiful. Okay, then on this flap here, now I'm going to open it. No, I'm going to fold it. You have your designer series paper. You have 1 score line and you have 2 score lines. I'm going to fold it that second score line under the designer series paper, and I'm going to put adhesive right above this bottom score line. And I'm going to try to get it all the way across that little strip right there. Like this, right? Then I'm going to just take that and tuck it under. So like I said, here's my designer series paper. This is the first score line. I'm going to fold it on the second score line, this, like this, and then I'm going to just tuck that piece under. Now you can test it. Hold it with your finger before you put adhesive to make sure that it's going to be a square at the bottom of your card base. But if you score, or if you fold on that second score line, it works just like that. And then you can fold it up, and this way it's still the size and will fit into a regular envelope. Okay, so then on this square here, we're going to put, or it's a rectangle, sorry, we're going to put some that green designer series paper. And I am going to run out of adhesive. Let's see if we can make it through the video without replacing the adhesive. Okay, but that fits right there. So when it's pushed up, it fits in the top. If you push down, it would be in the bottom. But then there's the front of our card. How cute is that? And I wished, I looked and looked to see what the name of the lady that did this card. Now the style card has been around for a long time, but I actually did take the designer series paper from the style she used, and I cannot find her video or remember her name. So I totally apologize. She'll just have to forgive me. But okay, so then the smaller piece, I don't know if you noticed, but I fold on those 2 score lines. So now this large strip is what I would call the bottom. And at the back of the bottom, so see, here's my scores and folded pieces. I'm going to put adhesive all the way along the bottom here. And then I'm going to hold it because we want to adhere this piece to this. So we don't want adhesive up here, we only want adhesive down here. So I'm going to take and just kind of hold my paper here so I can see how wide I want my adhesive. And I want it, let me try to get it about like there. And then I'm going to put some here. This way I don't have adhesive on this side or this side, it's just where I want it. Then I'm going to take this and center it at this fold line right here. Centered left to right or side to side, and stick it down really good right there. So far so good. Okay, then I'm going to open my card and make it as long as I can. I'm going to put adhesive on this top little section here, right above what I'd call the top score line. And then I'm going to just take that flap and fold it under. Now remember, I have my card as long as it will go, and then just slip that under there and adhere that down. And now look, now you have your card that looks like that. And it still folds up, can still fit into an envelope. It has the 2 little rectangles, and it's going to stand up nicely, well, maybe it will, on the desk. Okay, nice. So this one here, this white, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of him. And it looks like on this piece of dimensional, all I have is extras. I'm going to just cut those down. Or I mean the side pieces. I had dimensionals here. Where did I do with them? Oh well. There we go. I want one more. Here they are. One more dimensional up here in the corner. I'm going to take that and put it down here on the front of our card. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to take this piece and go ahead and put this on the back. And then let's attach our strawberry stems with a glue dot. There you go. I'll put a couple, no, this one I want to just lay flat, so I'm going to just put some adhesive on the back of him and just set him right there. And then I'm going to take a little flower here and just with a little bit of adhesive, I'm going to just give the back some color there too and make it look like that. Now on this one, I put 2 and covered up both of those little flowers, so that's another option. And on this one, I just took 1. I covered up the flower or the other flower with my strawberry and had room for 1. So that's another option. Lots of options. Then on the front here, I'm going to take my little strawberries, put a couple dimensionals on one of them, because I want to see where I'm going to lay the other one and where I need the dimensionals first. So let me take him. I think I'm going to put him just like this. So then this one, I'm going to just put a dimensional on this side, and then I'm going to put adhesive on this side because he'll lay on that other strawberry. So it looks about like that. And then once again with little dimensionals on the back of all my little flowers here. Let's see what I did with my mini dimensionals. I wonder, you guys, by the time I'm done with my video, my desk is a mess and I can't find anything. Are you guys like that too? Or are you clean and tidy and clean up? I'm terrible about cleaning up. Okay, we're going to put one little flower there and then just kind of fill in where the other little flowers go. I think this guy I'm going to kind of tuck here in the back so he looks like that. Look how cute it's coming right along. And then last but not least, I'm going to take my little, now these are the real red, okay, that won't work. Let me use this part. The real red rhinestones that are in the annual catalog. And I'm going to set those right there in the center of those 3 flowers. And look how cute that is. And there you go. So there's your second card. So let me bring all the cards back in again. I have the 2 that I did in Zoom class. I have the 2 that were my samples, and then the 2 that we did today. So I'm going to try to fit them all in here so you can see the difference in the 3 of them, and then these 3 here. Whew! I made it. This is a really long Facebook Live for me. I never go this long. But I thought I'd try something different and show you our club cards. Oh, here's the club card that I made too. Let's see if we can fit him in there. Maybe he fits better up here. I don't know. But there you go. So you have to let me know. If you're interested in joining club, please leave a comment. I'll try to send you all the information. And thanks for watching. I think I'm going to go take a nap. I'll see you back here on Friday. Bye-bye.